My name's Andy. I'm one of the electrical testers for Magna Housing. We have to, by law, test the properties every 5 years. It's there to keep you safe. Whenever we do a test, we will have to actually access all the electrical points within the property. Lights, sockets, light switches, boiler, so anything connected to the actual main fuse box itself. As you can see from this property, it is nice and clear. It's quite easy to get to everything. So if at all possible, before we arrive in your home, could you possibly try and move and unplug anything that you've got plugged into your sockets? Make sure the lights are off, and just do a little bit of preparation for us to arrive in the building. The main part of the test that I'll be doing will be at the consumer unit, fuse box. A test can take up to 4 hours to do, just depending on the size of the property and if I find any issues as I'm going along. The power could be off for the whole of that 4 hours, but we will try and get it on after a few hours. It will start coming on intermittently back again. So now, I'm going to switch the power off. And that just isolates everything within the home from the actual electricity box. Basically, what we're looking for in here is to ensure everything's tight. And no loose connections, cables can't pull out. We've got no burning, no sign of damaged cable anywhere. We then have to check what's called the external earth to actually make sure you have an earth to the property. And this will tell me whether the actual earth to this property is correct. And a reading of 0.006 is a really good reading. So the main part of our test is to actually look and see what is actually going on behind the scenes. The sockets might look all right and they might be working correctly, but that doesn't mean there isn't an underlying problem. As part of our tests, we will actually take some of the fronts off, the actual sockets, and just check the tightnesses and check that they're all correctly wired. We will then prove that the earths around your home are satisfactory by going to the light points, by going to the sockets, cooker outlets, so anywhere that's electrically connected to the fuse box. And we do this by making a link within the fuse box, and then we go and take a reading at each of those points. And now I then go around, power starts coming back on, and I go around and do what we call a functional test, just to prove that the actual sockets are working properly. And that basically, from socket point of view, is just putting a plug in, testing my test button, waiting for the reading to come back. Have to do that at every socket. It just proves the actual socket is working, and in this case, it's very good reading. As part of the tests, I'm required to prove that you actually have an earth connection to your water pipe and to your gas pipe, which in most cases should be by the gas meter or the water stopcock. So really we could do with access to that as well. If your gas meter's under the stairs, in an understairs cupboard, which is full to the brim, I'm going to have to empty all of that cupboard out before I can actually get to the point that I need to. And basically I do that by taking a reading off this clamp here. Okay. That reading has to be below a certain number, which in this case is 0.05, and this one is 0.02. So that just proves that we have actually got an earth to this water point. We have to make sure it's tight, this connection is tight, and it doesn't spin around on the actual water pipe itself. While I'm in your home, I will also be checking the smoke alarm to make sure it's functioning and it is in date. If it isn't in date, we will change it while we're there. This might mean changing the whole unit on the ceiling to a more modern version. What we try to do is replace anything that's damaged, anything that's broken while we're there. If it's a simple fix, we will do it during the test. So you might find pendants get changed, socket fronts get changed over. If we find a problem that requires more time, we will actually book the job in ourselves. And make an appointment to come back and rectify the problem so that you're safe. These are the main key parts of an electrical safety check. We do this test to make sure you're safe and that what's going on behind the scenes that can't be seen by you is operating correctly. While we're in the home, if you could keep any pets under control or safely locked away, That would help us a great deal. And also, if you could try and make sure that we get access to all your sockets, lighting points, cooker outlet and that sort of stuff. We don't expect you to move washing machines, tall fridge freezers, your cooker or any of that sort of stuff. They're perfectly all right in situation. We can test around them, that's not a problem. So we don't want you going hurting yourself or trying to drag a great big washing machine out.
Tests carried out in this video should only be done by a trained professional. Please don't try them yourself, as you could harm yourself or damage your home.